entrance to the house, and one of the major things we did when we first moved in was to switch up the doors. So the foyer is actually 13 feet and the door itself is actually 11 feet. So we used to have a door where there used to be a piece of glass on the top and then an 8-feet door at the bottom. So when I was switching out the door, I asked a lot of contractors and places and they were only able to do like a glass and then a door again. So there was no point of replacing that. Eventually, I decided that I was going to go the custom route, and we got this giant mahogany door that was able to span the actual length of the entire hole here. I only paid about $2,000 or $3,000 more than, you know, the standard Home Depot doors. So if you guys are looking for a giant and more grander door, I would recommend going the custom route because it makes a huge difference to your foyer. Here I actually chose a marble tile. I really love this tile because it's like this white grayish color. It's very muted and very easy to work with, and these tiles are 24 by 12, so they're like rectangular tiles. This is our office, and this room is one of my favorite rooms because it has 3 large windows that gives this room a lot of sunlight. I actually painted this room a pigeon gray color. I think I should have gone with a darker color, but at the time Eve really didn't want like a super dark color because I was looking at steel wool. So we met at a middle point and did this pigeon gray color. This is our mud room, and it also goes into the garage. We have our washer and dryer here, so it makes it really easy for us to, like, you know, do our laundry because we're going to be on the same floor. And the mudroom, I just have this, you know, built-in unit, nothing really special. Here we did like an open shelf kind of thing where, you know, you can put baskets in here and it would look really, really cute. Most of the time I left it as open shelf, and then eventually I got my baskets and put it in, and it made the space look really, really nice. The powder room is just a really simple design, and yeah, nothing really special about it. Right off to the other side of the foyer is actually the living room. I wouldn't say the living room is huge, but it is quite simple. It's just a rectangular space. Again, lots of windows, so it gives it a lot of sunshine in this room. So one of the things that I do regret that I did not do when I was doing renovation was removing this wall right here. So when we did the renovation, I was thinking, you know, it'd be great to have a separation between the living room and the dining room. But at the end, when I was actually putting my furniture inside, the couch was kind of blocking this walkway right here. So if I wanted to push out my couch a little bit more, if I had removed this, it would allow me to push it out more and build a larger living space. And then it would also have the walkway on the side, whereas now I could only put the couch like around here and leave a walkway behind the couch to go in the dining room. Another thing I really love about this house is that it is quite far from the neighbors. So we're on a lot that is 75 times 150 something. So all the neighbors are quite far away. We have a lot of mature trees in the neighborhood as well. So we can't really see our neighbors, and thus I don't need window coverings and they won't really be able to see us. Now walking into my favorite part of the house, which is my kitchen. Okay, I put a lot of work into this kitchen, and it is definitely one of my most favorite areas in this house. When we came to this house, it had this black and white kitchen where it had black countertops and white kitchen cabinets, and the cabinets did not go up to the ceiling. So I wanted to take advantage of the height and make sure that this kitchen looked like a custom kitchen. So I for sure wanted my cabinets to go up to the ceiling. So we had to redo the kitchen just for that purpose. So in the kitchen, the door used to actually be right here. And that didn't really make any sense because then you would have to have like a corner cabinet like running across this way. So I wanted to kind of separate, you know, the oven, the microwave, and the like the fridge away from the actual cooking area. So I made the door over there instead. But this made a lot more sense because everything could be flushed out and it looks better against the rest of the space. We don't actually have a pantry space in the house, so I made this larger cabinet, which is basically our pantry, and it actually works pretty great because you can store a lot of things in here. Something you guys want to keep in mind when you're buying appliances for your kitchen is if you want this flushed look, so everything looks built in. There's only a few brands that do kind of like these built-in appliances, and they get quite expensive. I think the KitchenAid Professional series is actually one of the cheaper ones. So if you're looking to do something a little bit cheaper, you can look into this line. So moving on to the main part of the kitchen, we have an island. This island is also pigeon gray. It's kind of like a purplish gray kind of tone. I initially wanted like the steel wool, so it's black. But E was not into that trend 7 years ago, but now black islands are actually quite popular. Just like I mentioned, this kitchen was actually done 7 years ago. So the cabinets do look like they are shaker style, but they're actually not shaker. So they have like a double U lining on the inside. And they're made to kind of look like a shaker, but back in the day when I was doing the kitchen, shaker was actually not popular at all. And it took me a long time to find a cabinetry place that had these kind of doors without it being too expensive. Because a lot of the Caucasian places I went to, they were charging me like $40,000 to do this kitchen. And that was 7 years ago, okay? And I did this kitchen probably for around $20,000 with a Chinese cabinet maker. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna look that much different, but none of the Chinese cabinet places had shaker doors. So that was the one thing I had to find, and it took me like probably 2 months to find a cabinet place that was able to do these kind of shaker looking doors. This particular kitchen I think also looks a lot better than most standard kitchens. I would say is because one, the hood is giant, but I'll go into kitchen design like maybe another video. But one is because the hood is giant. There's also a lot of like, I don't know how to say it, but like a lot of depth differences between the cabinets. And then I did different kind of cabinets on different places. So then it looks a little bit more higher end and more custom built than just the traditional, you know, lower and upper cabinetry. Another thing to mention before we leave the kitchen is this apron sink. So back in the day, not many people were doing large sinks, and I really didn't want like those small sinks that are in the middle of your countertop. So I got this apron sink, which is great. It is a bit lower, and it's kind of like a farmer sink, you would call it. And it's much bigger than the traditional sinks that people were doing like 7 years ago. So this was a great investment, and it made washing dishes and washing things a lot easier. So make sure you get a large sink when you're doing your kitchen. Honestly, for usage and storage purposes, I think drawers are actually really good. So if you have the extra money for your kitchen, I would definitely invest in some drawers. Off to the other side of the kitchen is actually our breakfast area, which is right here, and then the family room. So for this space, I wanted it to be a giant open space. So we actually took out a lot of the walls, which made up the hallway. Here used to be the hallway. So you can see from that wall and onwards, it would close up right here, and that would be the family room. But now that I've opened up the space, it is definitely twice as big looking as before. We are in a bungalow, so our house doesn't have an upstairs. We only have a staircase leading downstairs. And our downstairs has a completely different renovation than upstairs. Upstairs is a lot more transitional, and then downstairs is a lot more modern. So if you're looking for something a bit modern, I want to see something a little bit different, please follow my channel, and then I would do a downstairs tour in the next video. From the breakfast room, we can walk out into the deck. Whew, it's very, very bright outside today. And we did the cedar deck. Don't do a cedar deck. Just do the traditional like composite decks. Like that's not going to, you know, have all this like weird things going on with the wood. You know those composite decks that don't deteriorate? That's what I'm talking about, the plastic ones, because a cedar one is really a lot of work to maintain. Our bungalow is actually a walkout basement bungalow, so we're kind of like on the second level right now. We did a glass railing, and this was really nice and modern. And one of the things I love about the deck is that it's great for entertaining. It's about 800 square feet, so you have the space. Make sure you build yourself a really big deck because it makes a huge difference. You can put the barbecue, you can put like a dining table, and you can still put like a couch area on here. And it's really nice in the summertime just to enjoy some sunshine and just to be outside. Especially if you have kids, you can literally just lock them in the deck and let them play out here, and it's kind of like a mini backyard for them, and put some of their toys here, and it's just really great area, you know, to entertain. Literally, when we bought the house, the deck was like the size of this, like just a square right there, and it had a staircase going downstairs, I think from this side or somewhere. So I tore that up and made this, and yeah, I don't think I have made a better decision yet. So the deck was definitely a good investment. Off from the family room is basically our bedrooms. For the bedrooms, I didn't really do too much work. It was just mainly paint and the floors. And if you're comparing the space outside versus in the bedrooms are actually quite small because our bungalow is only 2,800 square feet. So most of the space is actually given to the outside, and then the rooms are actually quite small. And it is also one of the reasons why we're moving, because the rooms are actually quite small. So this door leads to the washroom, and it is a connecting door to the other bedroom as well. When we bought the house, it was not connecting. So we actually made these doors and made sure the washroom was connecting them, because I think the Jack and Jill made more sense versus having to walk around to go to your washroom. So this particular washroom just has the standing shower, and it is a slightly bigger standing shower. And it's just very simple. We also did marble in here. I think I chose kind of like this whitish pattern here, although one of the things I have to tell you guys about buying marble tiles is that they might not come looking exactly the same. So you should check through the boxes and tell, you know, your contractor which tiles to pull out, because it definitely does not match. But I did not know that, and I didn't do that. So we have some unevenness in the washrooms. So this bedroom was kind of my closet until I had Jake, and this became Jake's room. So the last room in this house is the master bedroom. And for this master bedroom, it had this like bell window. And I have these really ugly curtains. There's no custom curtain work, but we just wanted simple white blackout curtains, and these curtains did the job. And off to the side, we have this closet. And when I was building out the closet to do a custom closet in here, I think they wanted to charge me $4,000. And at the time, it was not within my budget. So I did the IKEA system, which cost me $1,800. But looking back, I probably should have built a custom closet because it would have been much nicer. But I think this was okay for the 7 years that we lived in here. On the other side of the room is actually our master washroom. I think I really messed up the design because I should have bought taller mirrors, but back in the day, I really didn't know. And these mirrors were actually really cheap. They were like $32 each, but I definitely should have gotten taller mirrors or something so it looked a little bit better. Again, we did just like a custom double vanity, and this washroom was all Carrera Bianca marble. So the floor, the upper cabinet, not cabinet, countertop, and then inside the shower, I mean, is all Bianca Carrera. And yeah, just really, really simple and something very classic. One of the things that my contractor told me was that we need a space to walk through to get to the back of the freestanding tub on both sides. So I think one of the biggest mistakes was that I did not push this all the way down and spin it so it's like a 45-degree angle, because my contractor said I had to go to the back. And honestly, guys, you don't need to go to the back. So don't make that mistake if you're doing, you know, your washroom design, because it's just sticking out a little bit. And I don't like how it sticks out more than the showers. This is pretty much it for the first floor. And now I'm going to head into the basement to show you guys a more modern and contemporary design. If you guys are interested in seeing that, please subscribe to my channel. And then we will see you guys in the basement in the next video. Thank you guys again for staying with me for this video, and I will see you guys again in the next video.